Welcome to I Love California City. We're here doing candidate interviews. Here we have interviews with the East Kern Health District candidates. They exist to provide access or improve access to healthcare services within the district. And I have my questions here. So the first one is I'll have you introduce yourself to everyone and tell us why you decided to run.
Thank you. My name is Jessica Rojas, and I decided to run for East Kern Healthcare District, kind of for a couple of different reasons. One is I used to work with East Kern Healthcare District, so I already kind of know the back end of them and can see how I could kind of benefit the community by bringing and helping bring additional resources to the community. The other reason would be I had several people in the community ask me to run for city council this year, but I thought I would be more productive if I started with East Kern Healthcare District. So I chose to go ahead and try to become a director for them.
Which healthcare services do you feel are most important to have available within the district?
The healthcare options that I think would be most important for the district are the ones that we're in the most need for. I did hold a Q&A back in January of this year with the senior citizens and did listen to what their concerns were. Again, that kind of goes back to the ones that are accessed the most but aren't local, that everybody needs to travel for. So possibly bringing in like some dialysis or some labs, things that are kind of frequent for the senior citizens, as well as some for pediatrics and family care too that we probably don't have, possible x-rays or things of that nature. And kind of go from there.
So I think this is a nice follow-up to your answer is that how do we improve our access to services which are not available locally?
One of the great ways I think we can improve that I'd like to be a part of is we did hold several Q&As throughout the year with East Kern Healthcare District and the annexation of Ridgecrest with Ridgecrest. So I do think that being appointed as a board or director on that, I would be able to kind of put a little bit more pressure on Ridgecrest to try and bring some of those services to our community. It kind of seemed like they were a little hesitant to do so when we had our Q&A, but I think I might be able to influence them a little bit more to be a little more proactive and bring a few of those services here. Worst case scenario, I think it would probably be good to do negotiations with them to possibly set up some type of transportation so that we can get our residents to their facility if they're not wanting to branch out into our location. If that didn't work through just Ridgecrest, I think it would also be beneficial for possibly East Kern Healthcare District to look into providing transportation for our community members that have a hard time getting to appointments since everything is kind of outside the Cal City at this moment.
So this is I Love California City. And I know East Kern Healthcare District kind of wants to expand and stuff, but because we're California City, we want to know what benefits can be brought to us, to really help the citizens here in our city.
Yes, so until we expand, we are I Love Cal City. We are about California City. So the benefits that I think I can help provide by putting me as a board of director is basically bringing all the other organizations together and working hand in hand with them. I would like to see East Kern Healthcare District work a little bit more with the Chamber of Commerce, as well as possibly some of our other local nonprofits that we can kind of bring in for the health industry side, as well as the city council. I think it's very important for us to prosper and to really give the community what they need. We kind of need to work hand in hand with additional organizations as well. That's something East Kern Healthcare District, to my knowledge, has not done yet. And that's why I don't think a lot of the people in the community are very familiar with East Kern Healthcare District. So I would really like to kind of turn that around, help educate the community a little bit more about what it is we do and start bringing more services and needs to the community through our organization.
Now, normally the healthcare industry is focused on monitoring and treating diseases and chronic illnesses. Healthy living is equally important, though.
Okay.
So what can be done to improve access to healthy environments or encourage healthy behaviors?
Well, I think a lot can be done for that on the encouragement and education of that. One of those things, I again would say, doing that community involvement with the other organizations. I think it would be a great thing to play a little bit more of a role hand in hand with like the nonprofit reach out here in our community, where we can kind of educate about healthy living and proper food choices, especially with their community garden. I think it's also great to maybe connect with safe haven, for instance. They do a lot of food drives and things. Perhaps we can kind of support with them a little bit more and do a little bit more food drives on a healthier level, as well as possibly even team up with Chamber of Commerce and hold some educational courses in there. And then that would also bring us back to a lot of our programs and youth programs that we have in the community that can also help structure our activities and our physical fitness with them, or possibly even bring some more physical fitness courses and classes together through the city with their Park and Recs program.
So what makes you qualified and suitable for this position?
I think I stand out above the other candidates and makes me qualified with the knowledge and the experience of already working with East Kern Healthcare District. I was a staff with theirs last year in January. So I think that gave me a little bit of an extra niche to know kind of how it already operates and functions and what resources and funding we already have. So I think that gives me kind of a step up in order to do so. I think another thing that kind of sets me apart from the rest of the candidates is I am involved in several community events, other organizations as well, with the Little League, the Scouts, Cub Scouts, BSA Scouts, Chamber of Commerce as well, that none of those I've ever bailed on. I've never ended my term early. I've never gave up on. And in fact, I'm in some of those spots now because we're having a hard time getting other adult leaders to step up and take over additional roles, which I would love to do. I would love to pass the buck. But I think that commitment kind of shows that if you vote me in, then I'm pretty much here for the end of the run. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll have the same kind of outlook on that with a few other candidates if you have already been placed in that position and did not see their term full.
What unique qualities and viewpoints do you bring to the table that would enhance the East Kern Healthcare District?
The qualities that I would bring to the table, again, is kind of a lot of what I've already done for the community. So I do have a track record already of showing what I've accomplished and what I have done to kind of better the community. I have been the president of the Chamber of Commerce, which is not a conflict of interest with East Kern Healthcare District because it's not an official position. I've already kind of improved those kind of dynamics with the chamber and put us in a more positive light with the community. We've wrapped the windows so that way people knew that building wasn't just in existence and looked like it wasn't being used. We've had really good feedback on that. We've brought in some educational courses and plan to do even more going forward, which I think would go hand in hand with bringing in some courses that can correlate with East Kern Healthcare District, and we can make that happen. We've developed, brought back the Cub Scouts in California City, and that's prospering really well. That's something that hasn't happened in a while, as well as we started our first girls troop out here. So that's something that would go down in history for the BSA. And then as well as kind of training our youth in baseball and the Little League. So I do already kind of have a reputation of getting things done in the community, doing it for the better. And then, of course, I love to work hand in hand with everybody and kind of connect everyone. So that kind of shows with all the other volunteer work and stuff that we've done hand in hand.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And give you one last opportunity. Reach out to the people watching. Tell them your name again and why they should vote for you.
My name is Jessica Rojas, and I think you should vote for me because I know what the community does need from holding our Q&As with the community. I'm very outgoing and speak to see what it is that they're needing, and then I like to try and solve the problems and see if we can bring that to them. I do have the track record of showing that I've already accomplished a few of those success, so I would like the opportunity to help represent you and bring East Kern Healthcare District a little bit more in the forefront for the community to learn about, understand, and appreciate. Thank you.
And once again, thank you everybody for making it all the way through this interview. We hope to see you on November 5th, Election Day.
Thank you.
Bye.